Target taking heat for cutting health insurance for part-time workers, saying, well, they can get it from Obamacare. It's just the latest company to do so. Now, worries the law is pitting employees against their employers. And, John, you say that was the plan all along?
Yes, Doug, Charles Krauthammer is one of the first ones that brought this up. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Krauthammer. He's a smart guy. He's right, as he usually is. And there's a reason that you don't have a subsidy for a part-time worker. They wanted to go on the government rolls. The government wants to take over this health care exchanges, which, by the way, they're getting to. 35 of the 50 states have said we can't afford it. They're pushing it back to the federal government. The federal government had planned this all along to control this insurance market. It looks like they're getting their way.
Well, Jonas, is there something wrong anyway with employers providing employees with health care?
Yeah, and what is this bogus relationship between this contract between the employer and the employee? Why should Target have to provide health insurance to a part-time worker stocking shelves 20 hours a week? That is absurd anyway and puts them at a competitive disadvantage. I mean, look, basically people should have to get their own health care, and those that can't afford it, the government should kick in. I mean, if it goes in that direction because of Obamacare, that's a win. This whole situation where employers have this obligation to have an HR department go shopping around for health care, like that's what they have to provide employees. No major country does that. The other countries, you either buy yourself or you're dumped on some national health care system. So I think there's a win for Target. It's good. They shouldn't be punished or looked down upon for not wanting to get everybody an expensive insurance plan.
Well, Tracy, what do you think? Is this pitting employees against employers, Obamacare?
So I love John and highly respect Charles, but I think you're both giving the government way too much credit. I don't think they're smart enough to figure something like this out. That would be conniving and conspiratorial, and they're not that smart. I think this is a complete unintended consequence. They screwed up from the get-go with this because, as we all know, Nancy Pelosi said it, nobody read the thing. No one knew stuff like this was going to happen, and here we are again. Every day we get a new revelation about how this thing is going to fall apart at the seams.
All right, Mark, weigh in here.
How's it going to fall apart at the seams? You're adding new enrollees to Obamacare. Let's remember, too, that we're talking about Target having 10% of its part-time employees that have even signed up for their health care in the first place. Most of them, when you think about part-time employees at Target, are probably high school students, college students, are on their parents' health care. The vast majority are getting it from their spouse, for example, or maybe even have Medicare. So we're not talking about a huge number of people here. Part of the reason Target is canceling its health care is because, as it says, it has such low participation rate. And guess what? Good for America that those people that are getting bounced off their health insurance have a place where they can go get high-quality, affordable health insurance that, if they need it, is subsidized. And you know, this only in America, right?
Okay.
No, not only in America, in every industrialized country in the world.
Mark said that they were getting more enrollees. Most of them already had insurance plans. Most of them are older people. What about this whole employer-employee?
Not to mention all the people that got kicked off their, their health insurance plans. But, you know, normally 99.9% of the time, I agree with Tracy. The government they would not be smart enough to be that nefarious to figure it out. But in this case, I think it was relatively easy. They sat there and they thought, how can we get people into our system? Well, we'll make it easy for the companies to kick them off. I think that's exactly what happened here with Target. You know, basically they said it's 10% of our employees, we can wipe our hands and, you know, be done with them and they can go into Obamacare. And, you know, I think that's more and more as that becomes Mark's dream, I suppose, is that more and more people come into that. And then these companies, they get rid of health care. We eventually move to this single payer system. Now, the fault with Mark's problem is Mark says, oh, my gosh, It's so great that they can go to the government. Yes, they could also do that in a free market if we had one in health care, which we don't.
Okay, thanks, guys. Last word there.